Today I'm going to talk to you about the legalization of marijuana. I am for the legalization of marijuana and Act 421 in North Carolina, although the bill has already gone through and has to be revised in order to be pushed through again. But today I'm going to talk to you about the legalization of marijuana as a whole. Marijuana does more good than bad. Many people don't understand that, but it does. It's been used throughout history for sicknesses, but for seeing if people see things that aren't there, people will use it to help them get through that time, um, as a relaxation drug or just something to help themselves. But because America has outlawed it, we have turned it into a bad drug by creating bigger prisons, by causing cash flow to international criminals, and by taking away from research, medical research, among many other qualities that have been taken away by us making marijuana illegal. A brief history on this drug would be it was found a long time ago in China and was mixed with opium and used in opium bars for the Chinese and many other cultures in the Middle East and Asia and the Europeans. Marijuana was outlawed in America in the 1900s because many white people believed that it was causing black men to rape white women, which is a lie. We all know that it's a lie. And the prohibition against marijuana is like the prohibition against alcohol. It's not working. It won't work. It can't work. Marijuana is used primarily as a relaxation drug and to help people cope with things such as, deaths in the family, and you just, light up a bowl. You'll feel good for the next few hours. It's perfectly okay. But it's been confined where people have to do it in their houses and we're paying people we don't need to pay. First, I would like to talk about the medical research. Marijuana has been used in California and Colorado for medical purposes, basically. And it's not a federal law yet that they can use it, but it's a state law. So if the feds catch them, they can get in serious trouble and go to jail for carrying that amount of pot. Marijuana is also a drug to help people with eating disorders. As we all know, it makes you hungry, gives you the munchies, so on. People with this eating disorders such as bulimia, anorexia, or just small stomachs, they need something to help them eat to be able to get through the day to live. By doing this and smoking this, they can eat, get the nutrients they need, and move on in their life. But we're causing those people in other states to go to drug dealers who pay for their drugs from criminals, like real hard criminals. These guys are getting their drugs from international criminals out of Mexico or the Caribbean or Europe or Africa. And by us causing that money to go to them, we're feeding into the international crime and we're supplying money for them to create more crime by bringing in different drugs such as cocaine and heroin and meth and all those drugs produced in their countries. By doing this, we're causing more crime in the big cities and putting more people in jail. If we can take away the money and put it back into the American economy, we will stop, not eliminate, but we will stop the majority of international crime coming to the United States because we're taking away one of their primary sources of money. Drug trafficking, marijuana into the U.S. is a huge profitable scheme. People will move, drug mules will move 100, 200, 300 pounds of marijuana, which street value could be anywhere from $1 to $2 to $3 million depending on what it is. And by causing that, you're causing crime in cities, big cities, small cities, little towns, everywhere. But most of the crime's coming in the big cities that are run down, such as Detroit, Cleveland, and those cities that are dying. By doing that, we create a bigger problem. We also create the problem of putting people in jail and overpopulating our prisons, which is why we're spending so much money to create more prisons. When that money could be put back into the economy for people who need it, such as drug money, if we were to use it, if we were to take marijuana and put it into our economy, we would have more money for healthcare to help people get homes, to put people in the right place, such as psychedelic people who are insane that need to go to a hospital. But by putting people in jail, it's affecting the minorities. Because if you look at statistics, it says that the majority of people getting in trouble for marijuana trafficking is blacks and Hispanics. Not majority white, it's majority minorities, which is wrong because it's as if a white person were to be caught with it in certain spots, they won't go there as long as a different person of different race. They will be put in jail longer because there'll be more on them than there would be with a white person. They're more likely to stop an African American or Hispanic for drugs. And if we were to stop putting people in jail, we will decrease the size of our prisons and put everything smaller. Everything will get smaller and we would have less prisons in the United States. 30% of our prisons are people who have used, moved, sold, or done anything with drugs. Of that 40%, 50% of those people are from marijuana because they've had an ounce or 2 ounces, something like that on them. When the legal maximum in certain states, such as California or Colorado, is less than a gram. Some people can't even get a gram through the week. But I can't change this. We need help changing this. So I hope I left you with the impression of knowing that marijuana can be used for medical research, can stop funding a national crime, and can be used to decrease the size of our prisons and stop arresting minorities. Also, I'd like to tell you who my 3 sources were. One was one of my good friends who was a parole officer in Raleigh. Another one was a lawyer that I had used previously for a traffic violation, and a cop that was my DARE officer when I was in elementary school. So I really hope you understand where I'm coming from on this, and that marijuana is not a bad drug, and it needs to be legalized. Like I said, marijuana can do more good than bad.